everybody, Jill here. Welcome to Jill and Beauty Therapy. I am so glad you decided to click that thumbnail today, and hopefully you're going to stick around with me for a little bit. We're concentrating today on just the eyes. And it's not so much an eye look, it's more of an eye technique. So this technique is so easy and it's absolutely gorgeous. You can decide how much intensity you want, how much of a smoky look you want, if you want to sort of make it softer for daytime or you just feel more comfortable with a bit of a softer look. You can apply this in any color range at all. So I think this is absolutely perfect and gorgeous for most eye shapes out there and eye types, except for those of you who have very hooded eyes. You know, you open your eyes and you're just not seeing a lot of mobile lid at all. This would probably not be the best technique for you. However, if you have a little bit of hooded eyes like I do, aging in general is causing some drooping and my tissue is starting to drop over, you know, onto my, I have more hooded eyes. Totally fine for that. This technique is amazingly gorgeous on those of you who have very prominent eyelids. You really have more space on your eyelids than you do above. So you might have a prominent brow bone, but not a lot of space. Mostly you have this beautiful eyelid to work with. The rest of us that just sort of have something in the middle between a prominent eyelid and some hoodedness, almond-shaped eyes, any type, whether it's close set or if you have wide set eyes, you can still really work this technique and make it look absolutely gorgeous. Before we continue to learn this really easy eye technique, I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely hit that bell because it's going to let you know the very second I upload something new. And if you find yourself enjoying this, give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys. Let's get started. This is going to be fun, I think, because this is very different than my usual sort of eye makeup tutorials. I'm just going to move that out of the way. We're going to want to think monochromatic. So if you're going to go with browns, then pick 2 to 3 shades. You can do this with just 2 to 3 shades of those browns. You want to go dark to gradually lighter. So when I say lighter, I don't mean you need to go super, super light, but just 3 shades that definitely go from dark to light. And that's very easy to find in eyeshadow palettes in general. You know, that's pretty easy to do. Okay, so once you've decided that, it could be, honestly, it could be purples, it could be greens, it could be browns, taupes, it could be pretty orange and sienna colors. You just need to figure out where you want to be there. I'm going to be working out of the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. So, because we really want that color to grab on the eyelid, we are going to use an eyelid primer. Absolutely love this one by Rare Beauty. It is so good, and I think it's lovely for mature eyes. It also is tinted a very light peach color, which is a beautiful color corrector. And a lot of us have to cover up sort of those hollows, the dark circles that we get right in here because our tissue is so thin and it gets thinner as we age. So we have blood pooling and whatnot. So this really helps with that. Now you can go ahead and use your finger to sort of dab that in. I don't like to move it around so much as I like to pat it in. However, I am in love with this brush. It is beveled, very, very soft, but it is my go-to for applying this and my concealers. So I just really kind of pat it in. All right, nicely primed. We even have a little color correction there. Let's continue. Okay, so the 3 colors, I think I'm gonna probably use 3. The 3 colors that I'm gonna work with today for our ombre effect is going to be Rustic Umber, Sienna, and Burnt Orange. This again is in the Soft Glam palette. All right, I'm gonna grab a BK Beauty. This is 206. It's a little floofy. but we're going to be able to cover quite a bit of ground with this, and we are going to start by just tapping. So I'm going to go in with the richest color of this look, which happens to be the Umber. So I'm going to tap it off now, and I'm going to start packing this in. Now, because my tissue is crepey and it is falling ever so slightly over my lash line, what I do, because I want this right up to the lash line, is I really kind of pat and lift the tissue up. And I'm going to take this, although I'm not going to necessarily go right in here, but I am going to take this kind of right here in the corner and right in there. I'm keeping this color right on the mobile lid. I'm not swishing it out this way. It's going right on the mobile lid, and the intensity of it is definitely right there. Then I'm going to wipe off my brush and I'm going to blend it right in here. And I'm just laying it, even here, I'm laying it right on my mobile lid, keeping that right here. I'm not going to take it out this way at all. The next thing I'm going to do is I really sort of want to blend this, and it's just all about blending and softness. This brush has been adopted by myself as my cheater blending brush. It's 201, I believe. If that's not correct, you will see it corrected on the screen somewhere. And it's nice and long. I can hold it kind of far down, and I'm just going to blend this right here, that very top, to be nicely blended. So really take a look, make sure that you got this intensity the way you wanted it. You're going to put it directly over the top of that primer, and that primer is really going to assist you in getting the most payoff that you can get from that color. So just take a look, make sure it's good. I'm actually going to go in again with that same color, and I'm going to pat it in. I'm going to pack it in again, making sure just right here, all on my mobile lid. I'm not going to take it too far in this way, definitely avoiding the outskirts there, avoiding this area as well. Taking my cheater blending brush, and I'm just going to blur that line right here. Next, I'm going to go in with sort of a transition brush. This happens to be Morphe 441, and I'm going to go into my next color now, which happens to be the Rustic. I'm going to start this color kind of right in my natural crease. This is going to give this look depth. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cheater and I'm really going to soften that. Wiping it off on my terry cloth towel down here in between so I can really get in there and soften each time we apply. I'm going to go in now with another very similar type of brush. It's just even a little more precise. So let me grab that one. We reached for A503. This is an Angie Hot and Flashy collab with BK Beauty. I absolutely love her brushes. This one is very similar to the Morphe. It's just not as poofy, and it also just has the tiniest little bit of a point there. Not that noticeable, but I just like the shape because I can be just a little bit more precise. I should have said this before we just did the last little application here. If you have very prominent eyelids, and mostly you have eyelid, and you don't have hardly any space between your eyelid and your brow, really you're going to pick out a very rich deep color and then jump over to that lighter of those three shades. And what we just did, you're going to go ahead and use that lightest color, and you're going to be blending that really nicely. You're going to be good to go. For those of you like me that are somewhere in the middle, we're going to go ahead and grab a third color now. I'm going to go in with the burnt orange. And I am going to be putting that now right here at the very top. I'm going to brush it up into my brow right here, and I'm going to get it pretty close to my brow. I'm going to leave this empty. I'm not going to put anything right up to the brow, but I'm just going to and again, I'm really going to blend this really nicely. You're not winging it. You're not doing any winging out at all in this entire look. All right. Now we're going to do underneath the lash line. We're going to make that look very, very smoky. We're not going to see too much of a line of color underneath the lower lash line. So this looks a little funny before we do the mascara and all of that. So don't panic at this point. Going on now to this is absolutely so, it makes going under your lower lash line so easy. This is the BK Beauty 204. So now I'm going to go underneath this lower lash line with that middle color that we used, which happens to be Sienna. We're going to really soften this. So now I'm going to kick it down even lower, and I'm really going to kind of blend this out lower into this look. Okay, I'm going to curl the eyelashes. I am going to tight line underneath this lash line. I'm going to tight line with the Sephora brand. This is a Colorful. It's called Colorful. These are lovely, very, very creamy, almost chubby eye pencils. They're very nice, but they are so big that tight lining sometimes is a little hard with them because it is kind of more of a larger surface that we're trying to tuck under there. But curling your eyelashes will definitely help to get them up and out of the way. So you can kind of lay that in there and scrub it in. Gonna leave the bottom kind of soft, so I'm not gonna waterline. Now it's all about the mascara, and we really want to use a mascara that is gonna give us the most volume that we can get. So not just length, but volume as well. I need another one of these. It's harder for me to get there now because I have almost run out. This is amazing mascara. It's the Lancôme Idole, and it is in black. However, mine is almost gone. So it's going to take me a little bit to get there. So I will do this and I will be back. And this is just a very easy way to create a very smoky, sultry look. And you can decide the color range and also the intensity that you wish to achieve. And again, it's really all about blending each and every application. Blending that top edge every time, whether you just use the 2 colors or you go for the full 3, it is all about the blending. And some of you may think, I think you really could have just stopped at the first color, but I think you're underestimating sort of how pretty the dimension becomes. It becomes really much more rich and dimensional. It's something that you may not pick up, but if you didn't do it, I think you would miss kind of that professional end look and the beautiful dimension that you get with adding sort of that second and third color. Okay, I am now going to get the other eye caught up.
Radio up and the blinds pulled down. You love it when nobody's around. I wanna call out round town, but you bite my lip, don't make a sound. I'll be damned if I'm leaving without you. So give me a minute to catch my breath. what's yours, I'll take what's left. I'm used to coming up second best, always fail to pass the test. I'll be damned if I'm leaving without you.
All right, so that concludes our little ombre tutorial today. I hope using that term kind of helps you get it to click in your head. What we're doing really is overlapping the colors, and we're just going with the darkest to the lightest shade that you've chosen. And as long as you blend that line in between, you're going to really create a beautiful, very smoky, sultry look. So sit down, get out some eyeshadows, and start playing. Okay, signing off for this one, and I will see you guys really soon in the next one. Thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.